So today I'm coming to you from Miami, as you can see in the background, and the setup is not the greatest because it was just made up. The audio is probably not going to be the best. There's cars driving everywhere and just like planes flying over the building and all kinds of stuff. But I can promise you that the info that I'm bringing to you today is super valuable. So please hear me out. I want to start by saying that I spent time with Grant Cardone, and in case that you don't know who he is, somehow, because the guy is just everywhere on the internet, I would probably argue that he's one of the biggest figures when it comes to
You
entrepreneurship,
can't
real
do everything. You
estate,
can't be
making
knocking on
money,
doors all
and
day
doing
long.
all that kind of stuff. So Grant Cardone is the founder and creator of the 10x move. Arguably, that's the biggest move for entrepreneurs and business world in general. And the guy is just everywhere on the internet. So some people hate him, some people love him because he's too pitchy, too salesy, too whatever you want to call him, but the guy is super successful, massively. I've been following him for about, I would say, 6 to 7 years now, and the guy has a lot of things that you can learn from. And let me just stop there for a second and talk to you about what the 10x rule is, because that's what he's the most known for. So the 10x rule talks about how to 10x your results in whatever area of your life that you want to. For example, for us in our insurance company, it might be 10xing our production and bringing 300 policies a month that we do right now to 3,000 policies a month, which might seem impossible for a lot of people, but I can promise you that if you hear me out in a second, I'll change the way that you think about that. The other way to look at it is if you're making $100,000 a year, right now, you can 10x that income into $1 million. And what it all talks about is you won't achieve that every single year, not necessarily. Hopefully you will, but it's not about actually doing it every single time. It's more about what does it take and how do you have to improve in order for you to get to that goal. And that is the most powerful concept or the most powerful tool that you can find within the concept of the 10x rule. Because again, you're probably not going to go from 100,000 to a million to 10 million to 100 million to a billion in 5 years, right? So you're not 10xing your results every single year, but your mindset needs to change and evolve and get better and all that in the process, so that even if you hit 3x or 2x or 4x, you will be making one, more money than you were before, but two, your mindset and your knowledge and everything is just going to expand way more. And so that's why I let that concept get into my brain and drive me in my business, right? Because even if I don't 10x the results, if I set that as my goal, I'm going to become a way better person, more efficient, more everything. And I can tell you that that has served me quite a bit along my journey. Now, that's just an intro for you to kind of know who he is, what he talks about, and what he is about. He's such an interesting guy. I would highly recommend you to go follow him if you don't do so right now, because he's got a lot of good info. And as much as he likes to sell his products and people hate him because of that, he's too in your face, he's too straight up, he's too whatever you want to call him, I promise you that there's a ton of valuable information on what he does. So go give him a follow. Out of everything that they talked about in the event and everything that they spoke about and that they were teaching and everything, there's one little thing that resonated with me that I promise you that if you execute will change your business and your life. And it's the following: create a strong culture within your company. And it sounds simple, but think about this for a second. I have a very driven personality. I don't need very much motivation for me to execute more and want to do more and all that. That's just from within me. I'm that way. But this place, as soon as you walk into his office, as soon as you're pulling up in the parking lot, everything is so clean, perfect, and they're so on point. Everybody's dressing well, everybody talks perfectly, everybody's just like sharp and on point and everything. As soon as I walked into that building, and again, as soon as I pulled up in the parking lot and I was handing my keys to the valet, I felt a huge difference in what we should be doing in our businesses. His culture, though, is about how to win, and not win just in results, but win on how to look sharp, how to talk sharp, how to be on point, how to trans- transfer that confidence to the customer, to your coworkers, to a point where like he was talking about like how his team doesn't even get late or give excuses on why they were late because they know that they have to be on time every single day. I can promise you though that just by having your team look good, professional, presentable, and not just like wearing a jeans and a t-shirt, and like whenever you walk in you want your team to like be smiling and greeting your customers. And whenever you walk into your office, ask yourself the question of, is this the culture that I want to create? Are this the people that I want to have around me? Are this the principles and the culture and everything that I want for my team and my office? I think too often we give up on what we want because we think that people are not going to be as good as we want them to be. I think that many times we confuse the concept of not finding the right person to not looking for the right person. There's one thing that I heard today, and I think it's pretty important that we talk about that, and it's don't hire because you need the person, hire the right person when the person presents itself. Meaning, don't open a position and then hire for it. Find the person and then open the position for that person. And that's going to change your game. But I promise you, though, that whenever that happens, not only external people or you are going to feel better, but even your team are going to perform at a higher level, and they're going to be better every single day because the culture demands for it. It's like when you go to New York. If you ever go to New York, everybody's dressing sharp, everybody's on a suit and a tie, and everybody that moves to New York likes that aspect of it. Everybody's looking good. And so they even want to dress better, even if they don't want to, because the culture and the environment just requires you to do so. So I wanted to share that with you today because I think that that's so powerful. That's something that we talk about a lot in our insurance company, but I think that now after feeling and getting the actual feeling on what it feels like to walk into an office or a company or whatever that has that culture where everybody wins and everybody wants to win and look sharp and all that, drives me even more and motivates me even more to create that culture at my company. Now, I wanted to make this video short and down to the point and just talk about one thing that I think is the most important out of everything. But let me know if you want me to go on a more extended video and talk about everything that I learned as a general, instead of just one little point, because I think that, again, I wanted to make it short so that you get to take something with you that you can execute on today that will change your business. But comment below if you want me to keep going and do a longer video explaining everything that I learned from him and his team. Because I can promise you that 20, 30 minutes, even an hour or 2 hours with them can teach you more than a year working for somebody that is not doing the right things and moving their businesses into the right direction. So again, comment below if you want me to go on a more extensive video. But if not, then please execute on this step. And just as a bonus tip, please, whenever you hear something or you hear something from somebody that you actually like, go and actually execute it. Go and test your team and see what your culture looks like, because that is the most important thing. One thing that I always tell my team is 55% of the reasons why people buy from you is how you look, okay? 38% is how you sound, and only 7% is what you say. So when you create a culture where everybody looks good, sound good, and say the right things, you're going to sell more, do more, and feel even better. Because when you walk into an office where you can feel that vibe of like just everybody winning, you're going to perform at a higher level than if you just know that everybody's just doing the minimum work and everything. So I'll leave you with that. But again, comment below if you want me to go on a more extended video. Take care, everybody.